Hello, hello. So today we are going to work on Cobra or upward dog and downward facing dog. And so I like to put these two together. The Cobra and Updog, they're very similar in the sun salutations. I like to put those with the downward dog because actually that's how far our stance should be. So if we're starting in an upward dog or a Cobra pose, then we should be able to come straight from that pose into a downward dog without having to move the width of our stance, okay? So we are going to start with Cobra pose, and it will evolve from Cobra to upward dog to downward dog. So we are learning kind of 3 poses today, but it's because the stance we want is going to be from that position of the upward dog or the Cobra, whichever you're choosing in your sun salutation. And Cobra is going to be your option, or you're going to do one or the other in your sun salutation, right? You're not going to do both an upward dog and a Cobra. You're going to pick one and do that. So I just wanted to go ahead and get those both in here today. So we're going to start down laying down on your belly. If you have a yoga mat, please get your yoga mat, and you'll come down, maybe rest your right cheek on the mat, arms down by your sides. Good, and just take a couple deep breaths first. Let's take 2 of them. Good. So for Cobra pose, you're going to take your hands down by right underneath your shoulders, and elbows are squeezing tight towards your body. And then from here, you're going to press firmly into the tops of your feet until your kneecaps lift up. So you can see my feet are nice and relaxed here, and then I press into my feet and my kneecaps lift up. Good. From there, go ahead and turn your head so that your chin is on the center of the mat. And then you're going to inhale, really lift your chest up towards, it's coming up, but it's also going forward. We're thinking leading forward. Head is gazing straight ahead of you. We're not looking up towards the sky. We're looking straight ahead. Really reach your nose towards the wall in front of you. Good. Reach your chest towards the wall in front of you. Roll your shoulders down and back. Make sure we're not really hunching up in the shoulders. Nice relaxed. Shoulders down by your side. Good, and you're still pressing firmly into the feet. And your hands are just gently resting. So you could float your hands here. We're not using your hands to press yourself up in Cobra pose. Your hands are just rested here. Good. You could always float the palms and keep them there if you need a little reminder, or you can just rest them gently on the mat as long as you're not pressing in. Good, so this is a nice Cobra pose, shoulders down, your feet are pressing firmly so the kneecaps lift, legs are nice and together. We don't want them any wider than hip distance, okay? Good. And then your core is engaged, so your belly button's towards your spine, even though you're on the mat here, or front ribs in rather than belly button towards the spine, right? And just the slightest engagement of your glutes, just a gentle squeeze with your glutes. Good, that's going to bring a little bit of relief for the back. So go ahead and lower down, left cheek rests on the mat, arms by your sides, and take a nice deep breath. Good. So now if you normally do a Cobra pose in your sun salutations and you're not comfortable with an up dog, then feel free to just do another Cobra pose while I'm teaching the upward dog. Okay, so for the upward dog, I'm going to start on my knees because it's safer for my back to come up to my knees rather than allow my body to sag down. Okay, so I just want to be forward as if I'm in that knee plank, tuck my toes. And I'm going to bring this into a plank first. So from plank, I'm in this plank just so that I can get that strong core nice long spine. Then I'm gonna turn the tops of my feet down to the mat. And then I'm gonna drop my belly and lift my head. Head is still gazing forward. Chest is reaching forward. Nose is reaching forward. Okay, but we have a slight back bend now. See? Good. This is a very nice upward facing dog. Arms are strong. Tops of the feet are pressing firmly. Legs are strong. Core is engaged. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Neck is really lengthening up as you reach your crown of head towards the ceiling and nose towards the front of the room. We're going to turn this into downward dog. So just tuck your toes here and then lift your hips into this downward facing dog. So you can see that my feet did not move, my hands did not move, they stayed right where they were. That's where we want your downward facing dog stance to be. In downward facing dog, you are going to reach your heels down towards the mat. It's okay if they never touch, but energetically they should be reaching towards the mat. Then you're going to inhale, lift your hips up a little bit higher towards the sky. Press firmly into all 10 fingers, especially right into the pads of your fingers. So that area on your hands where you get calluses from the monkey bars, I really want you to press into the pads of your fingers there. Good. Then you're going to reach your chest towards your thighs. Really reach. And now we have that nice V shape. Okay, so arms are really strong, legs are really strong, pressing heels down to the mat, hips up to the sky, firmly pressing into all 10 fingers and chest toward your thighs. And breathe in. And out. One more time. In and out. Then you're going to come forward back into your plank pose. Good. And we're going to come down all the way down. And we're going to go into a cobra pose and go from a cobra pose to a downward facing dog. Okay. So here you're going to press firmly into the tops of your feet. Hands are right here by your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulders down and back. Head reaches towards the sky as your nose reaches forward, chest reaches forward. Good. Then you're going to turn the tops of your feet, so tuck your toes. And just like we did to come into to upward dog, you're going to go to your knees first, then up into downward facing dog. Again, we want to avoid, what we're trying to avoid there is this saggy back. This saggy back coming up and in, okay? That's not going to be very safe for your back. So I'd rather you have your toes tucked and come to knees and then downward facing dog. And press firmly into the pads of your fingers, heels towards the mat, hips towards the sky, and reach your chest towards your thighs, and breathe. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. Then you're going to roll forward into your plank. And from your plank pose, stay right there. You're going to turn the tops of your feet and drop into your upward facing dog if that's in your practice. Good. And then turn the tops of your feet and come back to your downward facing dog. And 1 breath. Good. Now lower your knees down. And send your hips back to a child's pose, just giving you a nice little rest here. And you can have a nice relaxed child's pose with your arms down by your sides. Good, breathe in and out. 1 more breath. Good. So I hope that was helpful for you especially for your sun salutations and getting into your downward facing dog from your upward dog or cobra pose, whichever you are choosing. And then again, going from the plank position into your upward dog or into your cobra. So when we go from plank into cobra, we lower all the way down, elbows tucked to the sides, right? If we're going into an upward facing dog, then you're just going to turn the tops of your feet. And I know that we left out chaturanga. We're not doing that just yet. but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what that should look like and feel like in your body so that you know how you can improve your upward dog, your cobra, and your downward facing dog. So please let me know if you, like I said, if you learned something new. I would love to hear that. And, or if you have a practice that you're doing, I would also love to hear how yours differs slightly from mine. So thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.